Hi everyone, Chad Shoop here with Automatic Profits Alert. And today I want to talk about an industry that I honestly haven't followed that much. And truthfully, I don't know much about it. I know that it's still young and very speculative, but something recently happened that makes me know that it has to be on our radar and that this industry is likely here to stay. And what I'm talking about is the marijuana industry. Now, some people call it cannabis stocks, pot stocks, marijuana stocks. It doesn't matter. We're all talking about the same thing. So, marijuana stocks. Now, whether you're on board or not on board, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I'm not particularly a fan of the movement myself, but when you look at the studies since the 30s and 40s, there was about 20% of Americans that believed that you should be able to buy marijuana in the United States. Now, today, that study shows that 60% of Americans believe this. And that's why we've seen this movement move from state to state, legalizing medical use of marijuana, and now they're pushing for recreational use of marijuana. And Canada is another big country to our north that's also supposed to come up to a big vote here in the next few months about recreational use of marijuana. So this is a movement that keeps going. And, I don't know if me or you are going to stop it or support it or make a big difference in it. It just seems like there's a big shift kind of moving it forward. And one person that is trying to stop it is U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions, though. He recently did a 180 on Obama era policy that left it up to the states to determine if they wanted to allow marijuana to be legal or illegal. And then he put it back to the federal government and says that they all have to abide by the federal government policies. And he kind of left it vague. So they didn't know if what's going on is working, what's going on is not working. They don't really know where it all stands right now. But he's clearly trying to pull it back to the federal government. And the stock market noticed that. Marijuana stocks tanked 30% on the news. And that's a big volatile time. And this is some big news, because if this is the new policy, if this stands and stays for the next 10 years, then a lot of these marijuana stocks, they're going to go out of business. They're not going to be able to survive because they're hoping that the openness for marijuana, the recreational use, is going to continue to grow and continue to expand. And that's how they've invested, and that's what they're ready for. So if we go back to this, that it's illegal all throughout the United States, some of these stocks are just simply not going to survive, and that's why they're extremely speculative. But on that same day that stocks tanked 30%, there was still this buzz that a lot of people were coming in there and buying it. I mean, they were down 30%. The next day they were up 20%. The next day they were down 10%. So they're still extremely volatile. But, I mean, a lot of people were buying it. I talked to a lot of guys in our office, and they all still seem like, hey, this movement, it is here to stay, regardless of what he does now or over the next couple of years, that this marijuana push is still going to come out, and people are still going to, use it. It's going to end up being recreational use at some point, even if it is later than it was expected. So the reaction, the fact that everybody is still kind of upbeat and positive, even in the face of potential bankruptcies throughout the industry. And, I, for one, I jumped in and bought my first marijuana stock. So maybe maybe I'm late to the game, and maybe it is about to tank, who knows. But the way the stocks reacted, the way the buzz around my office reacted, you talk to a lot of people in the industry, and they still think that it's something that's going to keep going on from now. So that all gives me hope that, hey, this industry, it is here to stay, and it's something that we should have on our radar. I mean, I'm not saying go all in on marijuana stocks. The time to do that was probably, several years ago when they were trading for pennies, and now they're up to a few dollars. But, they still have a lot of growth ahead of them, and it's something that you want on your radar, want in your trading portfolio. It's going to be another industry that's going to come up, over the next couple of years. So it's time to pay attention to this. If you haven't yet, there's still time to jump in during this volatile market. There's going to be several new ETFs over the next couple of months that are coming out. So you can jump into any of those if you like when they come out, just to get you some exposure to this industry and benefit as the growth that it could see over the next few years plays out. Well, if you like this video today, then be sure to like it and subscribe to our page. And until next time, this is Chad Shoop with Automatic Profits Alert.